Yo, how's it going? Slump Music here again. I don't really do very much on this channel, and I don't know. I just be on here just trying to just show stuff that I know how to do and how I create my templates and how I try to make a fast workflow. So I mean, this is my Akai setup right here. It's with the Akai Live, the MPC one, and the Akai Force, and I route everything into the Tascam Model 12, and from there I'm just routing everything into Ableton or Logic or pretty much any other DAW that you want to use. It they all work the same exact way on this kind of setup right here, but pretty much it's just using I like to use, like, I mean, a lot of people got a lot of different plugins and stuff that they have. Like, I mean, I spent a lot of money on my native instruments and stuff like that, and I still like to use them. So I mean, I figure, well, I got a couple of NPCs, whatever. I could run one in standalone and run one in the software. So what I do is, or what I did is, the way I have it set up is I have the NPC live all the way on the far end right here. It's connected through there, as you see on my screen. It's going through there on its own channel. I got it routed on channel 3 and 4. My mic is on channel 1, and the track right here next to it that you see, that's the MPC right here in the software that I'm running right here, routed out to track 3 and 4. And then my MPC one right here, it's ran out right here. I just put it in on the simple I put everything on one track so I could just show you how I got it routed. Then we're gonna go forward on how I finished setting it all the way up. But I got the MPC one right here in standalone on this on track right here, and then I also got my Akai Force in standalone right here. Now, how did I make all this stuff work? Well, we're gonna get into it, and I'm gonna show you exactly how everything works. And I pretty much had to set this here up like every single time that I wanted to do a session, because simple fact, I mean, I was beta testing it and just, and I have to constantly set it up all the time because things might change or whatever. But in the process of this, I want to set it up so I can actually save it, because I do a hell of a lot to set my whole structure up. Once I have it set up, but then I could just constantly just keep running it over and over and over again. But I'm gonna go ahead and set it up today, and I'm gonna do it with everything, including the. I want to use some internal plugins like from Reason. I got the Reason rack and stuff like that. I want to use that, but I'm gonna also bring that into the Force, so I can use that kind of like in a standalone mode. But it's still gonna go through the DAW, and it's still gonna be able to record into the Tascam Model 12, or you can record it into the session whenever we decide to do that. So the way it is on the way it is on the first track right here, as you see, is I have my MPC. This is my MPC software. On this very first track right here, I'm just using my mic on track 1. But this is the MPC software right here, and then I had I had one audio track, because you know when you first start the software, it comes with 2 audio tracks. So I'm using one for my mic, and this is the second one that I decided to use right here on track 3 and 4. So before we go forward right here, I'm gonna show you exactly how I go ahead and I get everything set up before I start doing a beat. So now I got my MPC software dragged into Ableton, and my MPC Live is now active, and I got a expansion in there so I can load and route some of these sounds out that I want to use. Now, the way I usually do it, like, well, first let me do this here, because this is the MPC software right here, and then this plugin, this audio track right here is going to be the tracks that we're going to to route out. Then this one right here, I want to rename because this is the MPC one in standalone mode, and I don't want to get these here tracks right here confused. So let me rename that. I want to do this here video because I get a lot of different emails and stuff saying, a lot of people say that they have the same exact setup that I have. So if you have the same exact setup like me, this should be a walk in the park for you to have it running. Say this here as your template, and then as soon as you turn on your studio, everything is going to be set up and ready to go, and you just automatically just start doing beats. So I'm gonna rename this here MPC one, and on that one, since I'm running 2 tracks out of the MPC one, I'm just gonna duplicate it for right now, and then I guess we can go ahead and add a different color right there, whatever, so they're not so the same color. All right, so this is gonna be MPC one. This is on MPC one right here, but this one right here is on 3. I'm gonna leave this one here on the external input right here, and leave this one on the external input, and I'm gonna go down right here and put this on track number 4. So now I know these are going to be the 2 tracks that I'm gonna route out, coming out of the outputs coming out of the standalone of the MPC one. And then on this one right here, I'm gonna rename this one while we're at it to the Force. And I got 2 outputs coming out of the Force as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and add another one of those right there. Let me just change the colors a little bit so they look a little bit different than the next one. All right, so this one right here is coming out of 9 and 10. So I'm just gonna run this one out of 9, and then I'm gonna put this one right here on 10. I'm only running 2 outputs coming out of the Akai Force, the 2 outputs coming out of the MPC one, and I'm only running 4 outputs coming out of the live. So but you can run all 6 if you want. It's up to you how many inputs and outputs that you actually want to run. You want to be able to do that. So now we got those right there labeled. They're going to be ready to go once we start routing that out now. So we're going to go back to this MPC. This is the software right here for the MPC Live that you dragged in there. You dragged in the software right here. I'm going to go ahead and just change the color on that one right there too. All right, so now, and we know this next track right here is what I routed the first one out. I routed the whole entire, I routed the whole program out to 3 and 4. But the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna route. You can route either the patterns or just this sequence or how you want to do it. The way I usually do it is I only route out the instruments that I'm actually using. I'm not routing just everything. I just pick out the whatever instrument that I use. I route it out to its own channel. But in this process, we're gonna go ahead and set it up so those channels are already gonna be ready to be routed to, and you don't have to reset this here at any time. So I got one channel that's already right here that's set for 3 and 4. I want to go ahead and I want to add 15 more of those because I want 16 tracks. I'm gonna take these here before I add those over. This is my MPC. This is the one right here for the software, and these are gonna be the audios that are running right next to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move. My mouse is really janky, so kind of excuse that. But I'm gonna move it over. I want to move the MPC one. I want to move that over. My mouse is really janky, so kind of excuse me, but you get the idea of what I'm doing right here. All right, I want to move those over this is my mic right here. So now I got my MPC one tracks, and then now I want to move over the Force tracks as well. That way these tracks is gonna come before all these other tracks that I'm about to load in here. So let's go right here and just load in. Let's see, I got one already, so let's load in 15 more. There is a faster way I can do this here. By using my Slate Raven right there. So let's see. I mean, I want to make sure I got enough in there. So this MPC track right here. We want to make sure that by the time you're done doing your beat, that there shouldn't be anything on this track, and everything should be routed out through these other tracks. So let's see how many we got here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So now the way I'm gonna route these here out on these tracks is I'm gonna go right here to this one. This is the first one that I did already on 3 and 4. I'm gonna go down all the way down the line, and I need to mark these here as MPC, not MPC 1. It needs to make sure it just says the MPC, because this is the one that's gonna be for the software right here. So I'm just gonna go down and mark all those right there as MPC. I usually have to do this every single time I want to do a beat or something like that, because I didn't want to save it as a template, but today I'm going to save it as a template. It makes everything a lot easier, but I do have another, like when I'm running my beta or whatever in Ableton, I have it already set up in there as a template. So I'm just running Logic Suite right here live. So if you have this right here, or you're able to have these many tracks right here, you'll be able to run with this here with no problem. Just gonna mark all these here as MPC right here. The last video I did, I mean, I didn't run it all the way through like this here, because I know it takes a little bit, it's more time consuming. But this is going to be a full breakdown of how my template is. And I'm going to run VSTs and everything, and everything's going to be set up. So when I opened up Ableton, this plugin, all these plugins, and the way I got everything routed is going to be right there and ready to go on Impact. So we got the first one routed out to 3 and 4. We're going to run these here all the way down now. 5 and 6, and just keep going all the way down to you get to output 31 and 32. Okay, I'm gonna just run it down. I'm on 23, 24, so let's go 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Make sure I got all that right. So I got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So I have a couple extra ones right here. That's fine because I'm gonna need those audio tracks anyway to run the rest of the MP the the audio tracks for what I'm gonna do for the Force. And so now I got the MPC one right here on track 3 and 4. Those are monitored in. Matter of fact, this is right here can be on auto right here for the MPC. All these right here, we're gonna monitor these here. You're gonna monitor all these here in. All the way down to 30 track 31 and 32. And then we could change this here off of this here MPC one right here. That way we know that those are going to be some extra tracks that we do need later on. So now we got all those here routed out for the MPC right there. Let me set this mic down. All right, now we can get more into a detail of what we're gonna have to do now. Since I have these here these kits and stuff that I have right here at the NPC Live. You can route out. I usually only route out the ones that I'm gonna use. I mean, like if I'm gonna do a beat, I'm gonna start. I don't be sure like if I want to use that drum or not, so I won't route that out yet. But like the snare, the hi hat right here, so you can start with a hi hat. If I want to route that out, I'm gonna go into the pad mixer, and then I'm gonna route this one right here out to 5 and 6. I have the first track already on 3 and 4. Actually, hold up, let me go back, because the way I did this here was on this whole entire thing. I had it all routed out to 3 and 4. So I need to go back into the mixer. Let me go back and change that back, so it's set to only track 1 and 2. Track 1 and 2 would be like a track that you want to, that's the track that you will probably use for your sample or something like that. It'll be the only thing that you probably want on that one track right there. But me, the way I ran it out is that you should have all 16 outputs, and there shouldn't be anything on this MPC channel right here at all by the time we're done. You want this channel right here to be empty, because when you write these here tracks out, they're gonna you want them to all be separated, and then you don't want to leave anything out. So you're gonna know everything's gonna be separated. Your hi hat, your drums, your snare, your clap, all that stuff's gonna be good. So what I would do on the Force, while I have two hands, is first thing I want to do is I want to go into the menu, and then I want to go into control mode, and then now you can see everything what you have now, and that's going to be running through Ableton. And I'm going to start at the top, and I want to make sure that I'm just, bringing my dials back to 0, and turn off, I turn off the loop right here that's on there, because when you turn that off, it's also turning it off in Ableton as well. But the first thing you want to do to make all this stuff work is you got all those tracks routed right there. You're going to have to make sure that all your units and your Ableton Live is set. You got that Ableton link turned on. See right there, like mine have two links on there because that's gonna be the MPC one and the Akai. I mean, and the Akai Force. They're both in standalone. They're in standalone. The only thing that's in computer mode is the MPC Live, and the MPC one and Force is gonna be in standalone. So once you get the Force into Ableton Live control mode, you see all your clips and everything right there on Ableton screen. So, but what you want to do is we need to arm all these tracks right here. So you see, I'm moving these here over with the Force. This is why you want to be able to have this in Ableton Live control mode. So as you're doing your recording and all that other stuff that you're going to be doing, and you need to change to different instruments or a different MPC or something like that, it's really simple just to select these tracks right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to arm all these tracks right here, except this one right here. So let's go back. We're on the MPC track right there. We're not going to arm that one, but we're going to arm all those other audio tracks right there behind it. Before we do that, I want to just make sure that we don't have any other audio tracks that we're going to need to use, which I don't think we do because we're only running two outputs out of the MPC one and two outputs out of the Force. So that's going to be the two outputs coming out of there. And on this next track next to the MPC, make sure I get this one right. So I need to move it over right here on the Force so I can get it lined up. But this is the, let's see, this is the track. So it's this track right here. The one I just armed is the one that we're gonna start from. So now I got that lit. I need to move it over so I'll be able to, like, arm all the rest of them. But it looks like my screen just timed out right there. All right, so look, let me go right here. Let me move that over so I can have more of a length to arm all the rest of them. So what I want to do is I just want to hold this here down. Once it's lit up red in Ableton, you see it lit up or whatever, or you see it lit up on the Force, and tap on all the other ones going straight across. Now all those right there are lit. I need to hit the over on the right arrow until they come close to the same one that I'm still holding, so I can start arming all the rest of them. Once you do that, you will see that you have all 16 tracks armed and ready to go. Now this is really cool because this is going to be your 16 tracks that's going to come out of the MPC Live. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to route everything. We got 16 pads right here. They all sound nice right there, I guess. I'm just going to go ahead and route those out. But first I need to change it back. I need to go back into the mixer so I could turn it back so all the channels are going to be normal like yours on pattern. It should be on pattern 1 and 2. I got mine set to 3 and 4. So now it's on 1 and 2. Let me go back. Now you see how it's on 1 and 2 now. Everything is hitting on the MPC. This is exactly how yours should be hitting too until you start routing stuff out. Now you got it like that. I'm going to go into the mixer. Actually, I'm going to go into the pad mixer. And now I'm just going to route all of them out to 31 and 32. Usually I would use more than, one expansion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I only really route out the stuff that I would actually use, the instrument that I actually touch and hit a pad. That's the only thing that I will route out. So we got the first one right here. I'm gonna route this one here out on 3/4. and then take it all the way down the line to 31 and 32. 5, 6. Go right here, 7, 8. 9, 10. 11, 12. Let's see, 13, 14. 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, usually I will only route like the instruments that I use, but in this demonstration, I'm gonna route all of them out till I get to up to 31 and 32. Usually, with like when people do beats, I mean, I know when I do my beats, I use more than one sequence, more than one track. I don't just put everything on one track and then say that's it right there. I mean, I might run through a couple plugins and a whole bunch of other stuff that's gonna be ran through this MPC live. I mean, from the internal plugins as well. But I'm gonna do that a little bit different with the Force to show you how I can use the internal VST plugins and trigger those with the Force. So I could still use the Force in standalone and also in with the DAW control. So this one I'm just gonna run all the way down 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And you ain't gotta worry about if you route some of this stuff right here and you don't end up using these here pads. I mean, you just get to another something else that you use and just locate it the track in Ableton and just route it to that track, and it'll be no problem. Since you didn't use it, there wouldn't be anything recorded on there. So I'm at 29, 30. I don't know where am I missing one at. This one right here is supposed to be 31, 32. I must skip something somewhere. Yeah, that's 32 right there. Maybe because I'm doubling up on the tracks right there. But anyway, it goes going up to 32 right there. So now I got all these here tracks. They're all on their own track, all the way down to 16. Yeah, all the ones that I have lit up, that they're all gonna be able to hit. Now you can go right here to. This is the MPC one right here that I'm hitting now. One thing you want to do is when you go into your MPC Live or One or whatever that you have like that, you want to make sure that you go into the preferences and then go down to where it says MIDI and sync. And then if you scroll down a little bit right there, it says receive. You want to make sure that you got that set to Ableton link. And then up right there at top of it, it says enable MIDI port when discovered. You also put that in there. But the main thing that you want to hit is when you scroll down right there under receive, it says Ableton start, stop, sync. You want to make sure that that is actually turned on all of your units. So whatever standalone unit that you're using, if you got one or two MPCs, then you want to make sure that that is turned on both of them. And you want to also make sure the Ableton link is also set on everything. So I got Ableton link set inside of Ableton software. I got it set inside the MPC one, and I have it also set inside of the Force on Ableton Link, and you don't have to worry about the live being out of sync or tempo or anything because you're running that as a VST inside of Ableton. Once you have that set up like that, when you hit start, let's see if I hit start on me. I'm gonna hit start from the beginning on the MPC 1. All right, so they're all playing. They're all playing right there. There's only 2 tracks playing right there because that's a demo that I loaded up inside of the MPC 1. So that's what's playing right there. There's nothing else inside of that is loaded up. So just move right along. Now you see how that's gonna work like that. But when you do your beats or whatever, matter of fact, let me clear that out on the MPC 1. The channels will still be routed when I get ready to start another project. Everything's gonna stay routed. I mean, long as you other than the MPC live, the one that you running for the MPC 1, that's the only thing that you would have to route back out. But you're only gonna route the channels, like I said, the channels that you're gonna use for the beat only, like the drums, the snare, hi-hat, or whatever. And on the Force, you're gonna do the same way. The same way you're gonna do that. But you just want to make sure that it's also in Ableton Live control mode, so you can have more control, because you're gonna use the Force pretty much to control Ableton while you start doing your beats or anything else, and then incorporate the standalone of the Force in that with it, along with it. So pretty much I just did that like that. Let me go right here into standalone right here on the Force. Another thing that I like to do is when I set up my Force, let's see if it's gonna work. If I hold down Shift and launch, when you hold that down, a screen will come up, and this is where you get to set how many bars that you're gonna start your beat off with, or some people like to start off with 4, some start off with 8. I have mine set at 4, but the main thing is what you want to do is when you open the screens, you're gonna see that tab right here that's on the right that says Show Arrangement and Clip Matrix. Now, when you show that, you see this line on my Force, it's flashing on and off. You want that to be turned on, and you also want to turn on the other one where it says double tapping a clip selects it. Set your value of the length of the beat that you want to start off with, and you should be good. Now, what that's gonna do is now in your clip view or launch, you can just hit launch. Now you have this white strip that's going across your Force. This strip right here is your arranger. So when you go into your arranger, let's say when you do a beat or whatever in clip mode and you record it into song mode, these right here is gonna light up, and you could be able to just click right here and it's gonna automatically play whatever you recorded in the arranger, or you'll be able to record right directly into the arranger from the clip matrix. So another thing, once I get that set up, I say, okay, well, now I got this here set up so I could do my beat and get my clips going right here. So I hold down Shift, and while I'm holding Shift, I'm gonna hit Note. No, actually, while I'm holding Shift, I want to hit Launch. Am I doing this right? Hold on. Nah, all right. You could do a whole bunch of different stuff, but all right, look. What I wanted to do is, I'm trying to show you is when you hold down Note, and then if you hit Launch, now you got this other screen right here. You can try to save this part right here as a template, but it's been kind of hard saving this as a template. I mean, everything else, like far as setting up the arranger and all this right here, you don't have to worry about that. As long as you got that turned on now, every time you turn on your Force, this is always going to be there. Now, the thing is like, So now you got your arranger right here. You got your clips right here, which you have more when you scroll down, whatever, on the Force. But as you see, you know, these are the clips. So the way I do it is, I mean, I don't really need very many clips. You see that I'm using two MPCs and all that other stuff, so I'm still gonna run 8 across, but I'm probably gonna only use maybe one line or whatever, or I'll break it down to 3 of these. I mean, I keep these 3 rows right here, clips right here available, so I can do my mix on them, and then I could just punch in right here on the right side to bring that in, and then I got my keys and my pads right here at the bottom of this, so it makes it really super fast. So that's really good right there, just to hold down note and hit launch, and then now you got your arranger, you got your clips, and you got your notes right here. You can keep it pushing all day long. Now you see that's already ran right here inside of Ableton. That's the MPC one right here. I don't have any expansion in there because I started a new one, so let's put an expansion in there real fast. We'll go ahead and just load this expansion in there. And they're all in there. Now, as you see, like everything that I'm hitting right here is also reflecting inside of the Tascam Model 12. Now, on the direct inputs and outputs, they're coming in on 1 and 2 because it's coming out of the software on 1 and 2, but everything is playing. And then the MPC 1 is hitting on 3 and 4 inside of the Tascam Model 12. And then on the Force, I have that on 9 and 10. But the way the MPC Live is set up in standalone mode is I only ran 4 cables out of the MPC Live into the Tascam Model 12. So if I wanted to record that in as a standalone instead of running these 16 tracks out into Ableton, I can easily just route those out to these tracks right here. I got it set up for 4 tracks, but if you even ran all 6 of them, you can just run all 6 right here and then set the Tascam Model 12 to live input, and then you're gonna capture that, record it in there. But like far as it's going in right here, everything that I'm hitting on right here is also hitting on the Tascam Model 12. Now, this is like when you're ready to do your beat and all that stuff. I mean, you can go back here onto the Force, go back into control mode. This is gonna be where I would probably set the tempo at, because simple fact, everything is on Ableton Live control, so you can just change the tempo right here, and you'll see the tempo on your other units changing as well right here. I'll try to do a demonstration, a quick little demonstration beat, just to show how this here all functions and it all works together. What I would usually do is I'm gonna just start off with the MPC Live, and then I jump on this MPC 1, whatever that I got loaded in there is what I'm gonna use. I'm not gonna sit here and just be browsing a whole bunch of sounds and none of the other stuff. I don't know, I forgot what I actually picked, but just whatever is there, that I'm gonna make something out of it. All right, so we got that there, and then on the last thing that I do, I'll bring in the Force right there in on the track, and you'll see how everything's actually gonna work. And then once everything is said and done, I'll be able to record every single thing on into the session or arrangement. So this is the way it looks. This is the way it looks right now. And I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna just do a small little demonstration to see how this here is all gonna work. I mean, some things plan out, some things don't. I mean, sometimes the Ableton stop start, it's kind of, it ain't faulty or anything like that. It might be something else that I have to maybe do just with the Force only, because well, by the way, what I'm using the Force right now, the Force is not, this update isn't gonna be active yet to be able to use the stop start sync function yet. I'm beta testing this here for the Force live as we're actually doing this here right now. So if it does work, then I mean, Akai, good looking. You guys made it work. You know what I'm saying? And I got to share it with you guys before they released the new Force update. But it already has this feature inside of the MPC one, and this is one of the biggest features that I'm really concerned about, because I have a lot of different units, as you see, and I want everything to start and stop play at the exact same time. You know, like when you connect the MIDI cable to your keyboard or anything else, when you hit play on it, it's supposed to play. I mean, everything, there shouldn't be any delay or any latency or anything like that. Now, one of the issues before I do get started, so I mean, I'm already aware of it already, is everything plays and everything works. It's just that when you're using Ableton, the Ableton link, it gives you that 1 second delay before it actually jumps in on the clip or the next arrangement that you have set for it to play. So in the process of that right there is when I start my beat, it kind of first it kind of seems like it was off for a second there, but then when I just click on the tab on the Force to launch the clips, everything jumps right into place and everything plays like normal. So I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate how this works and what's going on. And I mean, everything isn't perfect, but it does work, and I'm gonna show you how I have it. So I'll mute the mic and I'm just gonna do a simple quick beat, and I'm only using expansions. I'm not using any plugins or anything like that. But actually, you know what, I did want to run through this here because I am want to use a plugin. But matter of fact, I want to do it right here with the Force. And since I have these extra 2 audio tracks right here, I'm gonna delete these here out of there. Let me delete those out of there. Now I wanna pick one of my plugins. I like this one plugin right here. Reason Studio. Let's go with the Reason Rack. I don't know. This thing's been kind of tripping too, but it does work. But I've been like, you'll see like my right side of my screen, like it keeps flashing right there. Like that's this part of this tutorial right here is trying to like open or something, and I don't get it. Like it's constantly it does that right there, but don't mind that right there. Just mind what I'm doing right here. What we're gonna do is I'm just gonna move it over right here. All right, so on this track right here, I just loaded in a Reason Rack, a plugin. Let me go ahead and put a piano on there. And let's see, usually like when I use this thing right here, I usually I like to have this piano, but I also like to have a bass with it. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of like layers with the piano and the bass at the same time. When you hit the key, and it sounds pretty cool that way to me. So I have a piano right here, and then on this track right here, I'm gonna load up a bass. I'm gonna change this here bass to a trap demo bass. It's more like it's a real deep sub. I will come back right here to my piano. I'm gonna go right here to players, and then I will add a I would add a scale and chords on there. I probably would bring this here maybe down, open this here up. I got it set for C major. Let's open these here right here up. So now we got a plug-in in there. Now, what you want to do is you want to go to the Akai Force. Go into standalone mode. Open up a MIDI track. I double click on that right there. At the top right here, where it says all ports right here, you want to go to Akai Force, and then you want at the bottom of that where it says Akai Force, you want to mark that as remote. When you do that right there, these are your sounds coming out of the plug-in. These are the sounds that's coming out of the plug-in. So you pretty much can route any VST plug-in that you want to use inside of the Force. It doesn't matter what you have. You can change it, or anything that you would like to do. I mean, it's gonna work. Other than, I don't know why mine is flashing like that. I even tried to reinstall my Reason to think that maybe it had an update or something, or there's some type of glitch, but it's been doing that ever since I updated my Mac to Monterey. But I can't. I mean, the software works. It just flashed like that. I don't know. It's the only one that does that, and not no other. Whatever VST that you decide to use, you can use. I'm just using a Reason rack, but any one that you decide to use are gonna they're gonna work. Okay, now you got that ran out right there. You can actually you can record that into Ableton, or you can record it, I mean, on your MPC, on your Akai Force as a clip or something, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, when I do my beats, I don't really think about what I'm gonna do. I just pretty much just do it. I make it up as I go along. If it fits, just use it. So I got that right there set up. So this is now a plug-in right here that I'm gonna run out of Ableton. I mean, and you can run those. You can run as many as you want. Like, I'll run another one. I'll put another one in there right now so I can show you how. Once you load these here in there, or multiple, damn it, my mouse is really tripping. I'm just gonna try to load. I'm gonna load another Reason rack in there if my mouse lets me drag it over there. All right, so I loaded another one up right there, and then on this one right here, it keeps flashing like that because it wants to flash like this side of the screen for some reason. Like, this is where the tutorial and all that other stuff be at right here. But when I click on it, I mean, that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's something to do with Reason. This has nothing to do with anything else. So anyway, I loaded up another instrument right there. So let's just load up this one. So now I have this one right here in there. I want to go on to the Akai Force, and I want to open up another MIDI track. Now on this MIDI track right here, I want to do the same exact thing right here at the top where it says all ports. I want to change that to force, and I also want to change the right under it to remote, except now where it says MIDI input channel on all, you don't want, you have it set right there. Let me close this here channel out because it keeps flashing now. So you have it set right there on 1. So now let's go to, you see I have it right here. I can click back over on this track right here. Well, actually, I'm in standalone mode, so I have to go back into control mode to actually be changing the tracks that I want to arm. So on this track right here, let me arm that one, and then go back to standalone. And then as you see right there, I got my bass and my piano right there. When I go back into control mode, I can arm the next one over right there. Go back into standalone mode, and I have my other instrument right there that I can use anything. I mean, to do anything. Let's kind of see how stable or whatever this thing is gonna be to do a beat. So since I have the first thing I've loaded up right here, I see on my track right here is the MPC 1. So let me go right back here. On that track right there is the MPC 1. But on this track, I definitely want to make sure that I'm going into the to the channel mixer, and then I'm on this track right here, and I'm going to route that into 1. Now it's only going to hit on that 1 track right there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to record something in there real fast. I'm just making this up as I go along, so don't plan on it to be like a professional beat or anything like that. I'm just doing this just to show how all these here tracks can be lit up and everything will function and play at the same time. So I'm just gonna try to just do anything that's gonna come into mind. So as you see, I started playing the MPC 1. I hit play from the play start from the MPC 1, and it started playing, and then Ableton kicked in, and now they're both playing at the same time. So I'm just gonna do a drum real fast on the MPC 1 real quick. So I have that drum track right there. Like I said, I usually run through a couple different tracks, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy that to another sequence. Now I should be on sequence number 2. I'm gonna go to a new track number 2. Now I wanna go down and I wanna add a new program. I'm gonna add a different expansion pack. So I just loaded another expansion pack in. Now on this expansion pack, we're gonna want to route this one right here to the MPC channel number 2.
Go.
All right, so I got some sounds in there. I'm gonna go ahead and route this one right here now to channel 2, so they're just not overlapping each other. I mean, when you do this right here, you're gonna notice that now your sounds are a lot more open and everything is not so compressed, and you're able to now add more effects just on certain things, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna try something here and just get it done fast. All right, so I got a bass right there, so I just leave those two on there. See how I got the drum on one track and then I got a bass on another one? They're not interfering with each other, and I can, I can do all kind of different stuff to it now. So now I have that done. I'm gonna move on to the Akai Force, which is on the next two tracks. That's still in standalone. I mean, in control. Let's see. I'm in standalone right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna load an expansion to make it quick. Okay, expansions. Everything is so different now. It's like when you hit sounds. But now when I hit sounds and I open up the expansions, I see all my expansions. Everything's looking gravy right there. I mean, I'm really loving it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it does help my workflow with seeing all my expansions and seeing my work, because a lot of these expansions, I mean, a lot of them that I made my own self, and it's just, my own little work. So, I mean, I like seeing it inside my unit, and I mean, it makes me feel good, and, it sounds good. So what I'm gonna do right here is I'm trying to find another expansion or something right here that I'm gonna use for the Force to start it off. So I have these here sounds right here. I think right here that I'll go ahead and I'll just start off with a hi-hat or something like that. So I'm just gonna, I usually just hit record on there, let it start playing or whatever, and then just catch something whenever I feel it coming in, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in standalone mode, so I'm gonna go ahead and just hit it when it loops around and just see what I can come with. So I did that right there, something just simple. So what I would do now is I'm just gonna copy that down to another clip so I can add something else to it. I deleted it, but I can bring it back. That's one thing good about the undo. Now you see when I hit the clip on the right side, it's gonna make everything just gonna hit right on time because everything's running right through Ableton Link. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hold down the copy button and then copy that down to the next track down, and then we'll find something else. Add some double up on some drums or something right there. Just hit start on that one to get that one playing. And let's just go ahead and add some just claps or something like that with it. Make sure I'm on the right one. Here we go. So now we got that right there. Let's go ahead and just, while we're on that track right there, go ahead and hit the mixer, and then let's just go ahead and route that one right there out to 3. See, it's on set on 1 and 2. So now I got that one routed out. I mean, I'm only going out of track 1 and 2, but the Force has 4 outputs. So I ran that one out of 1, and it's coming into Ableton on input 9 and 10. So I got that one on 9, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna load up another drum track right here, and let's just get another expansion popping up in there and see what we can get going on this right here. While we're at it, and I'm already on the screen, I'm just gonna go ahead and route this one right here out to the next channel, so that way it's already separated too. On this one right here, let's see what we want to get now. Let's load up whatever. I just like to hear like a couple of seconds, whatever, and if I start listening to the beat too much, then I don't want my beat to sound like that. So I want to just hear just a couple seconds of it. If I can grab it, then that's cool. If not, then it is what it is. Know what I'm saying? So we're on that track right there, the new track, and let's see what we got. Oh, we got a little melody or something in that. You know what I'm saying? So I'll go ahead and hit the record on that. It's ready to go whenever it's ready to loop, and then let's go ahead and start it. Alright, it didn't loop over right there, so let me redo it again on that track right there, I guess. Try it again. Alright, hold on for a second there. Oh, I didn't arm it to record. So let's do it again right here. Let's just bring it back. I'm just gonna hit play. Now you see what I mean by the couple seconds that it takes for, you know, the force to kick in like that. So it doesn't start like immediately, but I mean it's on time. You know what I'm saying? And worst come to worst, you can just hit the launch key right here and it'll launch it back on the track. Like, you know, so it's now everything's gonna be right on the one. So we're good. You know what I'm saying? A little small bugs that Akai can fix, but I mean it does work. I think I add some double up on some drums or something right here. We're gonna go ahead and double up some drums on here and see what we can do on this other Force track right here. Let's start it right here. We had a little growl to it, know what I'm saying? It don't really take much, know what I'm saying? So now we got those two tracks right there. Let's go ahead and that one should be routed out too to track 2, but it ain't. It's on 1 and 2. So let's just change that up so it's on its own individual track here now. Now when you hit the mixer here, you're in standalone mode. You see everything that you did right there on the track 1 and 2 still hitting there. I mean, if you wanted to go into more of the detailed view on the Force, you can go into, you know, the pad mixer and then make more adjustments. But as I'm looking at my Tascam Model 12, nothing is peeking out, so everything is actually looking good. But I mean, if you need to make any adjustments, you can still turn stuff up or down inside the Force, and it's gonna reflect inside of Ableton. So now what I want to do is let's move on over to the MPC Live and, you know, add some more stuff to this here little track right here and see how we can spice it up a little bit and utilize the rest of these tracks. I mean, you look at Ableton Live has multiple tracks. I mean, I don't see why people only use like a certain amount of tracks to do their beats. Me, myself, I would like to have as many things separated as possible so I can do more edits to it inside of the software. It's just a faster workflow for me. But with this template, it even makes it even better. So let's move on to the live. I'll go ahead and mute the mic. I got 16 tracks right here. As you see right here inside of Ableton, so I want to make sure that I have it started at the beginning right here. So when as you see right here in Ableton, the yellow right here, this is the MPC live software. So all the other ones are monitored in. So whatever I do hit are gonna hit on these tracks right here. So only thing that will be on this track right here with the yellow is gonna be whatever I did not route out is gonna be on track 1. All right, so I might end up just routing that out too, but I didn't route those right there because simple fact, I didn't really care for that sound right there, but we'll see. We might end up using it. I'm gonna go ahead and mute the mic and let's see what we can do right here. So here we go right here. Everything's used up right there inside of the MPC Live, the MPC One, and the Akai Force. It's ran out multiple tracks. We also don't forget about the other track that we have here. Now I'm gonna go back into control mode. Just want to make sure that I got that tracked arm for my Reason track. So now I want to arm. Let's see, which one was it? This one right here. And just add a little bit of that in there and see if that VST can pop up in there real smooth. Let's see. I'm on that track. So now I'm going back to standalone mode right here, and I got that MIDI track right there for Reason. I have a MIDI track right here. I'm just making this here up as I go, so please give me a little time. Trying to make it as simple as possible so I'm not dragging it along. Gonna try to record anything in there, so I'm just gonna hit record on the Force right here since it's in standalone, and then now on that clip right there I can record this here. Here now. I ain't hitting the pass hard enough. Let me do it again. Because I can always turn that down, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't want to overpressure everything, you know what I'm saying? So let's run it again. Okay, here so. I'll just go ahead and just tap it one time so we get a good one on it, then turn it down. Alright, let's just do something real simple right here. And then we'll turn it down a little bit just to see if it vibes. Go right here to the mixer or whatever. Inside of, go back to live control and you go to the mixer. Now you can turn that up and down and add more things to it if you really want to, you know what I'm saying? But that's the VST coming out of Reason rack, and I'm using that in my standalone Force right here, triggering as a MIDI plugin. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it works. Everything's still on time. I can also take all this stuff right here. Let me just go ahead and change this here over to the session view. And let's stop it. You know what I'm saying? If I hit stop on the Force, everything's going to stop. Let's bring all the way back to the very beginning of it. So what I want to do here now is I want to record all this stuff into Ableton so I can have everything tracked out. So what I would do is I'm gonna make sure just go back on purpose on each unit to zero everything back to the very beginning, so at least you know you got a clean take. The MPC One is still in standalone mode, so sometimes it doesn't go back to the beginning, but it will go back to the beginning once I hit play on the unit for it to play. But in this case, I want to make sure that I got it at the beginning, so now when I record this stuff into Ableton, it should be good to go and everything, it should be right on time. Only thing I would have to do is I would have to reclip and reset the Akai Force pretty much one time after I started. I mean, just to make sure that everything is on the one. So I'm just trying to move this here stuff down, get some stuff out the way. Let's see, everything here is looking good already. Other than we need to go back into, we need to go back and we need to arm all these tracks again right here in Ableton. So what I do is I'm in live control mode. I want to go back over like I was doing before. Let's see, what track am I on? I need to go all the way back over, and I need to arm these other tracks right here now. So the easy way to do it is just hold down. I mean, you got to see, the first one is my mic. The second one right here is the MPC. So I'm going to hold that one down so it's armed already. I'm going to arm the next one, arm the fours, both of those tracks. And then I'm going to skip this MPC one and then move over to all those other audio tracks. Now, once you get over to the audio tracks, I'm still going to hold down that first one as I hit the arrow on the right on the fours until I get it lit back up to the first one again and continue hitting record. We're going to continue hitting record. All right, I see all my tracks right there. So I just want to make sure that I got all 16 of these right here lit up. So if I use 16 tracks to do the beat or whatever, then be it, then I use the 16 tracks. But if I didn't, then then I just delete those ones. But I do want to make sure. I just like to turn the monitor on it. I think I only used one of these here Reason racks. I think it was the first one. But I want to also make sure that I hit record on that one right there. So now when I record this here back, now I can release the record button. I have every single track lit up that I want to record right here into Ableton. So what I would do now is I'm still in control mode. So that's where you're going to want to be. You want to make sure that let me go back over now to the session view. We're going to record it in here. I just like to make sure that everything's on point before I start hitting record and stuff like that right there. But what I'm going to do is, since I have everything right here already lit up right here and I'm in control mode, I want to make sure that I'm in the matrix view of control mode, and like my position view is turned. I hit turn it all the way down to the left. The start view, turn it all the way down to the left. Make sure that you turn off the loop, because you don't want it to loop. I mean, you can do this here two different ways. Now that you have all this here stuff armed to go and record, you can record everything into a clip, and then you can do your mix like that once you record everything in a clip. Or you could just mix everything live like I'm gonna do right now, right into the session of Ableton. So what I'm gonna do is, like, now I'm in the clip matrix view in control mode of Ableton. There's a record button right there on the right hand side of the screen on the force. When you hit that right there, that's gonna make Ableton start recording. Once that starts recording, everything or all your units should start playing. So let's go ahead and start it up. I believe it's when it's doing that 3-second count. I mean, Ableton does that even, like, I guess when you're even starting a session as a count in or something like that. But that's how the force is. So I can mix it and master it different kind of ways later once I get it in there. Pretty much I just like to record all this stuff in there. So, I mean, you see I'm using I mean, different instruments, different plugins, different a whole bunch of other stuff. So, I mean, it's gonna be up to you if you want to save the project individually on every single unit, or you want to go ahead and just record it into clips, and then you can go and just go back and mix and master it later on, or just record it the way I'm gonna do it and just freestyle it. And if it doesn't come out good, then you can just go back and do it again. That's the best way I like to do it. So if I do end up getting a good take on it, on a good mix, then I got a good one. So let's go ahead and start it out. So, as you see, everything does work. Everything did record in there, and this is only for demo purposes right here. I'll go ahead and change it back now so everything will play back. And what we want to hear is if the mix was able to take, coming in and out and stuff like that. But the main thing is about this right here is you, as you see right here, I mean, you can break it down your mix all kind of different ways because simple fact, now you got your hi-hat, your clap, your snare, you got all this stuff that you used to do the beat, and you can, cut and paste other things out, put things in or whatever, or however you want to do the mix or whatever. But I mean, this right here is going to make your mix a hell of a lot more effective, you know what I'm saying? I mean, simple fact, because you're going to have all these tracks that you can use. I mean, like, not all your music is not going to sound so compressed now. I got the piano, the bass, the drum, the snare, the hi-hats, the ram, everything is on its own track. If you have a sample, you can bring that in. I can bring my turntables in on another track. I mean, it just makes it so now when your mix is gonna be a hell of a lot better. So what I do now, I'm just gonna play back what I did right there. All right, hold on. I did something right here where I changed the sequence. So when I did that, it changed the it changed the tempo. So the tempo was at 90 right here. So I'm just gonna go back and just change the tempo back real fast. Everything's all good. See, it's right there. Tempo's back. So now I'm just gonna play what I did inside the arranger. Well, there it is. It looks like everything took the mix. The breakdowns, everything went right in where it's supposed to go, and everything looks effective. So looks good on my end. This is slump music. This is what I do right here. I just produce beats, you know what I'm saying? And while I'm producing beats, I just try out different kind of stuff and see if it works, you know what I'm saying? So this is my template. This is the way I run all my beats, just like this right here. Everything is broke down. People hate me when I send stems. But it is what it is. You're gonna get the best of the best, I'm hoping. Quality is everything to me. So if it makes your beat sound a hell of a lot better, just being mixed down like this here, man, keep it pushing. This is Slump Music, man. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I really do appreciate you guys for even checking me out. This is not a sponsored video or anything like that. I just like making beats, and I do it because it's just the passion that I have for music, and I'm just sharing what I like to do, you know what I'm saying? But this right here, template, a lot of people ask me, like, how am I running Ableton, or how am I doing it why would I use 3 MPC and everything else? The reason I use 3 different MPC because everything's gonna do something a little bit different for me. First of all, I have the MPC Live, and then the MPC Live is ran through the software. So that means, like, if I have any other little special plugins that I got tucked away in the slump files, then I can use those into Ableton right here and still record them in there. And then I love using my unit in standalone because I got other certain different expansions and stuff in there that I built, just for this MPC one. So there's different kind of sounds in there and stuff that I like to use. And then on the Akai Force, the Force works totally different than the MPC. So you got sequence bass, and then you got clip bass. And when you put both of these here together, you got a masterpiece. I mean, they work wonders. And if you really listen to the units really carefully, even if you're playing the same sound on the same unit, you could tell the clarity or the difference in the instrument that you're playing from that unit. So when I'm playing certain instruments, that might be the same instrument I got on the MPC one or the live or whatever, and I play that same instrument in the Force, it sounds a little bit different, and the way instruments trigger on pass is also different as well too. So everything works in its own way. So that's just kind of like how my workflow is. I mean, I like to blend things together to see what they sound like together. So I mean, it is what it is. But I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. This is Slump Music. I really appreciate you guys for chiming in and checking me out. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop a comment or anything, or you can shoot me an email if you want to talk to me privately, or you want to work on a session, or I do mixing and mastering. I do a lot of different stuff. I do it all. You know what I'm saying? So if you really want to you want to work with me or contact me any kind of way, to see, you know, if you need help just setting this template up or something, you know what I'm saying, you can send me an email at slumpmusic@gmail.com. That's slumpmusic@gmail.com. Or you can reach me on Instagram. I'm the Real Slump Music. That's spelled the same exact way. The Real Slump Music, SLUMPMUSIQ. I mean, everything runs just like that. I also I'm a gamer as well, so I do it all. I mean, everything is under Slump Music. You can Google that name, or just chime me in on any social network or whatever, and I'm there. Feel free to leave a comment, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it a lot. Thanks a lot. Slump Music, and I'm out.